Hundreds of students are involved in classes, sports, and student life here at Duncanville High School. Eye of the Panther gives an inside look on some of the stories that interest you. On this edition of Eye of the Panther, you'll see reports on girls basketball, boys basketball, media tech, National Cheerleaders Championship, plus a special report. But first, this on volleyball.
With a 14-0 record, the Duncanville High School varsity girls volleyball team played a tremendous season with only 3 returning lettermen in the game. In grapevine tournaments, the Panthers started out in a group with 3 other teams, defeating such teams as North Garland, Trinity, and Denison. This advanced the Panthers to the championship division, with only a 17-6 record in 5-0 district play.
Like when we started the streak, it's like before every game, we were so nervous. I mean, we would just feel like, can we do it again? Can we do it again? But it's one game we played, everybody was crying because we almost lost it and almost broke our streak. But we came back and won it. You know, we were real happy. It makes us feel real good.
One major problem of this season were injuries, which forced the Panthers to play 5-1 offense in one district game, with only 5 spikers and only 1 setter. After getting back on their feet, the Panthers were now in playoff spotlights. One loss could have ruined the perfect record.
It was very difficult to maintain my position because I came in for the setter front row and I only played during basically half the game, so it was really important that I did my best all the time. Otherwise, I would get pulled and they'd put someone else in.
Coach Rich tried to show us how to get along better so we can play as a team.
And we mostly all got along. There's always times when there'd be, just from being around each other all the time, we'd, get in our little spats. But most of all, when it came down to it, we pulled together when we needed to.
Well, hopefully we will still win district and hope to go further.
This was the Panthers' 3rd trip to the playoffs, and after defeating Garland and Longview, the Duncanville High School varsity girls volleyball team pulled a perfect record for the season.
Sonia Graham, a senior at Duncanville High School, saved a man's life from electrocution by performing CPR she learned as a freshman at Duncanville High School. While working at Taco Bell, Sonia noticed a man fall 30 feet from the billboard sign he was working on.
Rushing outside, Sonia noticed a crowd of adults standing helplessly by as she performed her life-saving technique. For her efforts, she was awarded a city proclamation by Mayor Jim Toe, who proclaimed Sonia Graham Day in Duncanville.
Now, therefore, I, James L. Toe, Mayor of the City of Duncanville, Texas, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, January 8, 1991, as Lifesaver Sonia Graham Day in the City of Duncanville, and do hereby urge the citizens of Duncanville to applaud and recognize her extraordinary achievement. Sonia Graham, we applaud you and are so proud.
It was an honor to let people know what I did to save someone's life. It made me feel good, and let everybody know what is very important to learn CPR.
In 1891, Dr. Luther Goldrich and James Naismith changed the history of sports forever. At that time, baseball and football were the most popular sports. These outdoor athletics were enjoyed by players and fans alike during good weather. But when winter came, there was little to do. To spark interest in winter competition, Naismith invented a brand new game using only a large round ball and 2 peach baskets. They were attached upon opposite sides of a gymnasium wall. These simple beginnings led to our modern game of basketball. Basketball became an important international sport almost as soon as it was invented, and became a popular street sport as well. Eventually, girls asked if they could play, and in 1892 they first stepped onto the court wearing long dresses and high-neck shirts. They did this because men were present. In 1896 they wore mini blouses, bloomers, and long black hose, but no male spectators were allowed. Basketball has become a high school legacy and has changed quite a bit. In Duncanville, the Pantherettes, as the high school girls team is known, has a history of its own. As far back as 1942, the team has been outstanding in a number of consecutive winnings and state titles. The 1990-91 team certainly extends our record outstanding competitive play. Duncanville is known across the state as the team to beat.
But the Pantherettes need no special accommodations. Under the leadership of Coach Sandra Meadows, they have gone to the playoffs for the 24th straight year, and this is only the beginning.
The Duncanville High School varsity Pantherettes winning streak started in 1987, and they continued to win for 3 straight calendar years. This was their 26th straight year in a row to enter the basketball playoffs, 24th under Coach Sandra Meadows.
This year's team, when we started in the fall, was a very young team. And last spring, when I made the schedule, I made a very tough schedule for them, and quite frankly, I didn't think that there was a possibility we could make it through that schedule.
The 1990-91 girls basketball season got off to a fast start. Defeating many of the surrounding teams in the district, the Pantherettes had earned a 15-0 record, and they extended their 4-year victory streak to 112 games. The players were quick to show strong dedication to their team and its reputation. 3 starters returning among 5 Letterman winners were senior post Kobe Kennedy, junior post Martha McCullum, and junior post guard Christy Lake. Also returning from last year's 39-0 team was Amy Thrillkill.
First of all, you got to have it in your heart that you want to be the best that you can be, because if you don't work as hard as you can, you'll never make it up here.
You got to do a lot of conditioning and work hard, and you got to learn to cope with your mistakes so you can do better the next time, because you can't just think about what you did when you mess up. You have to think of what you're going to do the next time you go back on the floor.
The Panthers went on to defeat Bishop, North Mesquite, and DeSoto, extending their winning streak to 130. The Duncanville girls found themselves chasing history as well as the championship as they faced 2 of their major contenders. Tying with Valdosta, Georgia for the longest winning streak in the nation, the Panthers worked hard to develop team ball and continue their outstanding record. The excitement of the team's drive for yet another state championship may have cost the girls some early points in the game against Athens, Texas. Gaining control of these powerful emotions, they emerged with a 61-38 victory and went on to defeat the Plano Lady Wildcats, advancing to the Regional II tournament. With 134 straight wins to their credit, tragedy struck the Duncanville Pantherettes. Senior post Kobe Kennedy was hospitalized with a ruptured appendix. Showing tremendous support for Kobe, the team realized they'd have to win their 4th consecutive state title without Kennedy. Duncanville reached into the depth of the Pantherette tradition to find the will and the way to win even when the odds appeared against them. Unable to match Longview's speed and jumping ability, discipline was used for offense and heavy defense play to overthrow Longview's high-powered offense. The final score, Duncanville 61, Longview 49.
Well, yeah, I think that made a big difference, because what it did for us was it gave us all inside position on the boards. And we didn't give much up on the inside once we did that. And we just had to let them take the outside. We had a good chance for the state title. That's really all I can say about it, because I'm pretty unaware of what's going on except out at Region 1. I know those teams out there pretty well. But in 3 and 4, I'm a little lost on that.
We just kind of did, but we knew we had to stop their fast break because they like running, and so we knew we had to stop their running game. They knew that the inside game would probably work, so that's what they're trying to do.
It was our toughest. We knew that, it'd probably be a real hard game, so we just had to come out here tonight and do the best we could and just give it all we had.
Back home, in preparing their trip to Austin, a pep rally was held to support the girls in another state championship. The Pantherettes faced Victoria in the semifinals. Duncanville had 6 turnovers and were 0-6 before Lanya Tucker scored to make it 4-2 Victoria with 1:56 left in the first period. But Duncanville fell behind by 12 in the second quarter. By halftime, it was clear the Pantherettes were in trouble. At that stage, they had as many turnovers as points and trailed 22-15. By the third period, they had chipped away their opponent's lead and were within striking distance of another victory. Not many thought the streak would end soon, and certainly not now. When most of Duncanville was preparing to crown another state championship, Victoria showed the type of poise and patience that has been a Duncanville trademark for years. With 26 seconds left and Victoria ahead 37-35, Duncanville Christy Lake hit the front end of a one-on-one but missed the back end as time ran out. Victoria ended the Pantherettes' domination of the state high school girls basketball scene 38-36. The Duncanville girls seemed to miss the senior leadership of Kobe Kennedy, who averaged a team high of 16.5 points. Head coach Sandra Meadows commented that the girls were thankful that the streak ended at the semifinals and to a challenging team.
Upon the moment long ago, one breath away and there you will be, so young and carefree. Again you will see that place in time, so gold. Still away into that way back when you thought that all would last forever, but like the weather, nothing can ever, and be in time, stay gold.
The Pantherettes showed great sportsmanship in their loss to Victoria. We would like to thank each and every one of them for a spectacular season and a wonderful time. In the hearts of Duncanville students, they are all champions.
After overcoming many obstacles this season, the Duncanville High School varsity boys basketball team is doing extremely well. Besides having more depth in their playing style, they also have an outstanding lineup of players. Players hot enough to make this team shine.
Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be.
The season started off with a well-rounded team of 11 members, but due to certain events, the team is cut down to only 9. But those 9 have carried the team to countless victories both on and off the court. Coach Phil McNeely and some of his players told us how they pulled it off.
When you have problems, you just come together as a team and you pull together. Sometimes obstacles like that make you a stronger team, so that we try to use them in a positive sense.
Just work hard, never give up. I mean, you know, a big shot's just a little shot to keep shooting.
We accomplished a lot of goals this season, but I think we still have enough. We have a little bit left that we can push out and show the team, show the crowd that we can really get into and take it to Austin.
The Duncanville High School varsity boys basketball team are on the verge for their District 11 5A championship. The backbone of the team this season has been 7-1 center Greg Ostertag. This 2-year letterman has been hailed as the highlight of the team, and he continues to be an intimidating factor in the Panthers' inside defensive game. But despite his growing popularity, Ostertag remains calm and level-headed.
No, I don't think about it. You know, I just go out there. I have a job to do. I go out, play kind of the game I know how to play.
The Panthers' top offensive performance of the year was a 92-60 victory over Wyatt. But that was only the beginning. The team then used a vastly different performance to wrap up the district title with a 159 romp over the Garland Owls. While Ostertag and forward Marvin Bell were ringing up the big totals, the Panthers got scoring points from everyone who played, including 9 each by Sam Lowell, Shad Green, and 8 by Eric Scheiser. Now take a look at this. This is the last shot 15 seconds before the buzzer that set the Panthers 100-59 over the Owls. Panthers then went on to play their 4 semifinal games. They faced Killeen with a 64-62 victory and then took Bryan the following night by 70-56. Both games took place in Waco at Farrell Center. Back home, the Panthers then awaited their trip to Austin. Supporting the team for another championship, a pep rally was held. Attending were all athletic participants at DHS. Galilena Park North Shore were the Panthers' first victims in Austin. With the championship on the line, the Duncanville boys had no intention of slowing down. Final Duncanville 82, Galilena 50. Then the final game took place when the Panthers took the lead over the San Antonio Jays 12 seconds into the game on one of Greg Ostertag's 5 dunks. Tying 8-8 at one point, Duncanville regained the lead and never looked back. The Panthers were in control the whole way. By the second period, the score was 25-14 when Robert Ringo converted a drive on the right baseline and Marvin Bell tossed a 5-footer. Ringo then scored off Shad Green. At halftime, Duncanville led by 15 points. Ostertag poured in 10 consecutive points to start the third period, and the Panthers assumed a 42-22 lead. The Jays' man-to-man defense was no problem. The Duncanville boys feasted on the mismatches. Marvin Bell then clinched a two-hander, making a 46-28 lead into the final quarter. 35 points were rung up by Ostertag, 15 for Marvin Bell, 8 by Robert Ringo, and 6 assisted by Shad Green. By the time the final buzzer sounded, the Panthers led a 65-38 victory and won their 4th Class 5A championship before 11,895 spectators.
You know we're gonna win when Swami swings it over. 1, 2, 3, Panther! Yeah! Smile, Jason. Cheeser! Number 1, baby!
I was real surprised, because I figured they'd double team on me and, try to keep me from getting the ball. But, that leaves Marvin and everybody else outside open. And, when they leave open like that, they're going to hit the 3. So I guess, they kind of try to shut down the outside and the inside at the same time, which just covered me with 1. The girls did come up short, but going into the season, when it come around district time, we all were hoping that we'd all get down here and bring back 2 state championships. But we're happy with what we got, and we're just going to go from there.
I did it for Coach, man. We did it for Coach.
From Austin, I'm Brandon Edlin for the Eye of the Panther.
Now, according to athletes, hearing the roar of a supportive crowd behind them while they're doing their best on the court or on the field is an awesome feeling. That feeling is what the newly organized Bleacher Boys are hoping to create for the varsity basketball players and other sports as well. During football season, the players enjoyed that support so much that they gathered a group of friends together to increase school spirit.
Well, we started Bleacher Boys, because we're all seniors and we wanted to go out to all the games and support the teams because, both basketball teams, girls and guys, are destined to go to state. So we just figured we'd all go out and support them. Everybody's got their own styles of supporting them, so but I think everybody overall thinks it's pretty positive.
See you in Austin!
The Bleacher Boys, who are all seniors, hope to start a tradition at Duncanville High School.
What is a sport that involves year-round participation? A sport that requires strength, endurance, and dedication.
A sport demanding grueling hours of practice. In addition, these athletes contribute their skills and abilities, whether it's on the sideline or in the gym.
If you haven't guessed, it's cheerleading.
Bang! Bang! Why?
Duncanville High School cheerleaders proved that cheerleading is a sport. Each summer, all 3 squads begin practicing for the National Cheerleading Association Championship. Instead of being with friends and family during their leisure time, the cheerleaders spent hours in the turf room above the stadium, preparing themselves for the tough competition ahead. Duncanville is known statewide for its athletics, but it's also known nationally for its cheerleading. Last year, Duncanville was the first school to win 3 national championships, sweeping the freshman, junior varsity, and large varsity divisions. Everyone agreed that it would be even more difficult to win back-to-back championships. Squads from California to Florida attended the Nationals in hopes of bringing a championship back home. Emotions ran high as the cheerleaders traveled to the Dallas Convention Center in December.
Well, our recent saying is it's easier to obtain than it is to maintain. Since they've already had the title before, it will be harder for them. These girls are a very talented group of girls, and I have no doubt that if we go out there and do the best that we can do and do the routine as it's planned, that we'll do great.
I've been training very hard for the last, I'd say, 3 to 4 months, and we've been practicing nights and trying to get it together, and the team looks really good, and we haven't won in quite a while. Well, the cheerleaders have, but as best mascot, it hasn't been taken home in quite a while, and I want to start new traditions.
There are 8 divisions of competition, including the freshman, junior varsity, co-ed, small varsity, large varsity, best mascot, best cheerleader, and junior all-star. Duncanville High School participated in 5 of those divisions. During the first day preliminaries, the freshman, junior varsity, and large varsity squads all advanced to the finals.
No, I don't think the competition will be any easier because now the judges and the other squads know what we're capable of, and we have to perform a lot better and a lot stronger and louder. So I don't think it'll be any easier.
Everyone's expecting a lot out of us, and we'll have to prove ourselves even more this year than last year because coming back is that everyone's expecting more out of us than last year. So I think they will for sure.
One of the most prestigious national awards is for Best Cheerleader. Duncanville's Rachel Randerson competed with 160 hopefuls from around the country. After an outstanding performance, she advanced to the finals and eventually earned 4th place as the nation's best cheerleader. DHS senior mascot Randy Lavender competed for Best Mascot and was very optimistic about the large varsity competition ahead. Several squads performed stunts and different types of dance routines in search of recognition from the judges. From standing pyramids to flying flips, cheerleaders showed their gymnastic abilities, impressing the crowd and the judges. The second day of competition began with the finals. The Duncanville freshmen were first to perform. The freshman squad won their division last year and knew their performance this year had to be perfect. During their difficult routine, the squad wavered at a critical moment, deducting points from their overall score. Although an error was made, the freshman squad can be proud of its national 4th place finish. Competition for the junior varsity title was equally intense. The Duncanville squad had earned 3 consecutive titles and hoped to bring home a 4th, adding another record victory to the NCAA history book. Their challenging routine began with an outstanding presentation and suffered only when the squad was unable to maintain a critical pyramid formation. For their remarkable efforts, the Duncanville junior varsity squad earned 3rd place in the nation. Considered the top 2 squads, Duncanville and Sofer were expected to battle it out for 1st place. Duncanville had its work cut out. No other team had successfully won back-to-back championships, and the squad knew the judges would scrutinize their every movement. The squad performed flawlessly. To beat Duncanville, Sofer would have to be more than perfect. Sofer also presented an outstanding routine, just barely edging out the Duncanville squad for a 1st place victory. Duncanville ranked 2nd in the nation, having successfully competed against 129 squads from around the country. Many DHS fans supported the squads at the competition. The students came to cheer their friends to victory.
Well, they're awesome anyway. I mean, even if they don't win, they're still awesome. They're still #1, so who cares?
Well, I think the girls are very disappointed that they didn't win their national championship like they wanted to, but they tried their best, and, you know, being 2nd in the nation's not all that bad. I mean, look how many girls came out here, and they didn't even get to come Saturday, so they got to keep their heads up, and they'll be back next year.
The athletic excellence of Duncanville High School cheerleading continues, proving once again that Duncanville is indeed the city of champions. From downtown Dallas Convention Center, I'm Rufus Shaw for Eye of the Panther.
During the making of our productions, we often ask students what they think of Eye of the Panther. Here's what some of them had to say.
Well, it was slamming, basically speaking. Y'all are hype. You know, the Hammer Time, it puts a wide variety on there, you know, as far as music is concerned. And y'all put different things on it. It makes people look up, you know. Basically, Channel 1 to me is chilling, it's all right, but it makes people tend to be bored, you know. But then when Eye of the Panther comes on, people just tripping out, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I like it because it informs me on my school functions.
I feel it's very good, and it gives us a chance to see the student events that take place. It's informative.
Well, I think that it's a very nice, outstanding show, and that it shows a lot of people participating in sports and other recreational stuff we have up here.
They're pretty good. They're a lot better than Channel 1.
I think it's very good.
No, I loved it. It's great. It's perfect.
They haven't put me on it yet.
To give the students an idea of what goes into the making of Eye of the Panther, here's Jason Walsh and Jeff Cavett with a brief behind-the-scenes look on what's going on.
Broadcast journalism and media technology is the study of communications,
which includes setup of shots, angles, audio and lighting, all of which go into the production of the Eye of the Panther.
Duncanville High School's news magazine. This is where ideas, thoughts, and reality are born. What was once used as a storage room for old broken furniture, school desks, woodshop equipment, and remnants of a former art class is now one of the most talked about electives at Duncanville High School.
Instructor Nancy Noyes, formerly with Duncanville Cable, has won many awards for her photography and television productions.
I've been working at Duncanville Cable TV for a number of years, and one of my duties at Duncanville Cable was to hold a monthly video class so that interested members of the community could take it. And I found as I went along, this was one of the most enjoyable aspects of my job. I really enjoyed the teaching aspect and enjoyed interesting people in the fascinating field of communications. So I decided that I'd like to begin doing more of that and applied for a full-time position here.
She has designed a high-tech, industrial-grade production and post-production facility with sophisticated high-tech cameras,
an Amiga 2000, editing equipment, cassette decks, CD player, and much more on the way.
Some of the goals for these classes are to produce programs for Duncanville Access Channel 16. Teamwork, that's what it's all about. Field trips, guest speakers, and organizing meetings for Vocational Industrial Clubs of America. I'm Jeff Cavett.
And I'm Jason Walsh, behind the scenes of Eye of the Panther.
If you have a comment or an idea for a story, write it down on a piece of paper and drop it in the Eye of the Panther suggestion box located here in the library. And remember, Eye of the Panther is for you, the student. I'm Alan Oliver, KDTV, Channel 16, Duncanville.
5 short weeks ago, I came to this house to speak to you about the State of the Union. We met then, in time of war. From the moment Operation Desert Storm commenced on January 16th until the time the guns fell silent at midnight 1 week ago, this nation has watched its sons and daughters with pride. And as president, I can report to the nation, aggression is defeated, the war is over.